When we think of extinct animals, the dodo and the mammoth are often the first that come to mind. But the world was once home to creatures just as fascinating and unknown that have long since disappeared. In this video, we'll explore 10 extinct animals you probably never heard of. Get ready for a journey through time, where we'll discover everything from fierce predators to peaceful creatures that no longer walk among us. If you're fascinated by the natural world and the hidden stories it holds, don't miss out on these curiosities. And of course, before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and if you enjoy the video, give it a like to support us and help bring more content like this. Thylacine, Thylacinus cynocephaly. We begin our list with the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger. This remarkable animal, resembling a large dog with stripes on its back, was the largest carnivorous marsupial of the modern era. Native to Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea, the thylacine was a nocturnal and solitary hunter. Unfortunately, the arrival of European settlers, along with relentless hunting and habitat loss, led to the thylacine's extinction in the 20th century. The last known thylacine died in captivity in 1936, marking the end of a species that fascinated with its appearance and behavior. The thylacine was often misunderstood and considered a threat to livestock, which contributed to its persecution and eventual extinction. Despite numerous unconfirmed sightings, the thylacine remains officially extinct, but its story serves as a sad reminder of the fragility of species under human pressure. Dodo, Rhaphis cucullatus. The dodo is one of the most iconic extinct animals, but few know the details about this bird that inhabited Mauritius Island. Flightless, the dodo fed on fallen fruits and lived peacefully until humans arrived in the 17th century. With the introduction of invasive species and predatory hunting, the dodo was quickly driven to extinction. The last dodo was seen in 1662, making it a symbol of human-caused extinction. Interestingly, the dodo had no natural predators before humans arrived, which contributed to its trusting nature and lack of defense. Its extinction was so rapid and complete that it was considered a myth for a long time. Today, the dodo is a tragic example of how human interference can devastate a species in a short period. Irish elk, Megaloceros giganteus. The Irish elk, also known as Megaloceros, was one of the largest deer species that ever existed, with an impressive antler span of 3.5 meters. It inhabited the plains of Europe and Asia during the Pleistocene and is often associated with the culture and mythology of Ireland, though it lived in a much broader area. Despite its name, the Irish elk was not exclusive to Ireland. Its extinction, which occurred about 7,700 years ago, is attributed to climate change and overhunting by early humans. The enormous antlers of the Irish elk, though impressive, may have been an evolutionary disadvantage, making movement through dense forests difficult and increasing the need for minerals to sustain them. As forests expanded at the end of the last ice age, these magnificent creatures could not adapt, leading to their decline and eventual extinction. Moa, Dinornithiformes. The moas were giant birds that inhabited New Zealand and could reach up to 3.6 meters in height. Different species of moas varied in size, but all share the inability to fly. These giant herbivores lived in forests and grasslands, feeding on leaves, fruits, and seeds. The arrival of Polynesians in New Zealand around 1300 AD marked the beginning of the end for the moas, which were hunted to extinction in just a few hundred years. The extinction of the moas was so rapid that the last species is estimated to have disappeared before 1400 AD, a direct consequence of hunting and habitat destruction by early humans. The lack of natural predators made moas easy prey, and their large carcasses provided an abundant food source, sealing their fate. Elephant bird, Epeornis maximus. The elephant bird of Madagascar was a gigantic bird, considered the largest that ever existed, standing up to 3 meters tall and weighing about 500 kilograms. Flightless, this giant lived in Madagascar's forests and, like the dodo, was driven to extinction due to hunting and habitat destruction by humans. The elephant bird is believed to have gone extinct around the 17th century, coinciding with European colonization. The eggs of the elephant bird were enormous, with a capacity of about 9 liters, and became a valuable resource for the humans who arrived on the island. The pressure of hunting and forest destruction for agriculture were decisive factors in the disappearance of this species, which left a huge gap in Madagascar's biodiversity. Falkland Islands wolf, Ducician australis. The Falkland Islands wolf, also known as the wara, was a canid that inhabited the Falkland Islands. It was the only native land mammal of these islands, and had an appearance similar to a fox but with a more docile behavior. Unfortunately, with European colonization and the arrival of hunters seeking its fur, the Falkland Islands wolf was quickly driven to extinction. The last record of this animal was in 1876. Before humans arrived, the Falkland Islands wolf had no natural predators, making it particularly vulnerable to hunting. Its extinction is yet another example of how human exploitation can lead to the irreparable loss of unique species adapted to specific habitats. Quagga, Equus quagga quagga. The quagga was a subspecies of zebra native to South Africa, distinguished by having stripes only on the front half of its body, while the rear was a solid brown color. This unique animal lived in herds on the African plains, but was intensively hunted by European settlers for its meat and hide. The last known quagga died in captivity in 1883 at the Amsterdam Zoo. For a long time, the quagga was confused with other zebras, but recent genetic studies have confirmed it was a distinct subspecies. Its early extinction, before it could be extensively studied, deprived us of a better understanding of its ecology and behavior, making it one of the saddest examples of biodiversity loss due to human activity. Steller's sea cow, Hydrodamalis gigas. Steller's sea cow was a massive marine mammal related to the manatee, which lived in the waters around the Commander Islands in the Bering Sea. Discovered in 1741, these gentle giants could grow up to 9 meters long and weigh up to 10 tons. Unfortunately, within 27 years of its discovery, the Steller's sea cow was hunted to extinction by humans seeking its meat and hide. This species was named after the German naturalist Georg Wilhelm Steller, who was part of the expedition that first documented the animal. The rapid extinction of Steller's sea cow serves as a stark reminder of how quickly human activities can wipe out a species, particularly when it is already vulnerable due to its small population size. Glyptodon. Glyptodon. The glyptodon was a prehistoric creature resembling a giant armadillo that inhabited the Americas during the Pleistocene. Measuring up to 3 meters in length and protected by a rock-hard shell, the glyptodon was an herbivore that roamed the plains and forests. Its extinction around 10,000 years ago is associated with the climate changes at the end of the Ice Age and hunting by early humans. Fossils of Glyptodon reveal that these animals were impressive both in size and resilience, with their shells often weighing over a ton. However, even these giants could not survive the combined pressures of a changing climate and human hunting, leaving behind only their fossilized shells as evidence of their ancient dominance. These extinct animals we explore today are just a small sample of the many species that once walked the earth and, unfortunately, are no longer with us. Their stories teach us about the importance of preservation and the devastating impacts human actions can have on biodiversity. And if you're fascinated by unique and dangerous creatures, don't miss our video, Top 10 Most Venomous Animals in the World. You won't believe number 1. To discover which living animals carry the deadliest venoms. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you next time.